Okay, this is LS Swap the Panel Van Part 5. Today we got the clutch assembly in. As you can see, I made a bracket here to mount this side of the shaft. There's the rod in place, see it going over to the shift fork. There's the other side and that bracket that I made. There's the pins in, going up to the front. There's that bracket that I fixed in the front. And the clutch mechanism is functioning. Press the pedal in. See it moves the clutch back. So the problem we're having now is, as with any custom, this LS truck header, when the clutch lever is all the way back, you can see it's touching right there on the flange of the manifold. And also, when you look at where that manifold's laying, unless you notch out a section of the frame right there, your exhaust pipe as it comes down is going to be ramming directly into here. So you would have to notch a section of the frame out. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is cut this manifold right here, a pie cut out of it, bring it in, and then weld it back up, which is also going to change how I have to make the exhaust from there going down and out, but that's what's going to need to be done. Because right now, as you can see, you can't get the front bolt down into it because it won't drop far enough down. And then once you push the clutch in, you can see that header drop down. It goes directly into place. Okay, so we got the exhaust all welded up. Look at it. The best part about it is it doesn't fit. So what we did was, like anybody would do, is we went on old flea bag and we bought the cheapest headers we could find. These are ST swap headers. That's the right side. This is the left side. We'll try those on now and see how they fit. Okay, so we got the driver's side header sitting in place, kind of where it's going to be. As you can see, it's going to clear perfect. It's not going to hit anything. It's going to go right up. Of course, we don't have it tight because we don't have the bolts or the gaskets in it, but as you can see, that's how it's going to sit. It's going to be absolutely perfect. Now the passenger side fits a little less desirable. So if you look, see that front's down and this back is way up, I mean to the valve cover up. And what's happening is, you see that roll right there? That roll is hitting the top of the frame right there. You see it right there. So what we're gonna have to do is notch out a section of that frame right there for it to fit. And what we'll do is we'll weld some plate steel on the front and the back of the frame to strengthen up that spot because we're cutting a notch in it. Talk about gaskets for a second. So when you buy those real good quality headers, right, what they're going to come with is these types of gaskets, exhaust manifold gaskets. Now these cheaper gaskets will work if you're going to drive it, I don't know, maybe a mile or two, but then after a while they're guaranteeing they're going to start leaking. So what you want to get is, I mean, it doesn't matter realistically on the amount of money you spend, but you're going to want to get this style gasket, ones without the breathers that are a solid core gasket. These felt pros. So as you can see, we got the headers on, bolts are in, they're all tightened up, got the Felt Pro gaskets in there. New bolts, of course we didn't use any of the bolts that came with the kit, not only because they're the wrong thread, but they're not any type of grade 8 or 10.9 metric equivalent. See, that's where we had to notch the frame. All we did was sliced it there, go over here, I don't know if I can get that without any light, sliced it there, and we just basically got a little notch taken out of it so that header tube has a way to go. I mean, you can always bash the snap out of the header right there, but there's also a weld seam right there, so that's why I didn't bash the header in instead of cut and notching. And then this is the driver's side, gaskets in, as you can see, everything lines up. And then you can see this one's nice and far away from the clutch. No worry about hitting the clutch mechanism. All right, now we're gonna do some EGR delete. So we have a couple of spots we gotta block off. First one is this right here, which is the EGR port itself. This hose normally runs back to the gas tank. And this is the port here, and that's the bolt. But as you can see, when putting it in the van, I broke the snot out of it. So you gotta take this bolt out here. We'll see how it goes. Because you don't need EGR. Nobody wants engine vapor. Alright. So it looks like that's some kind of weird shoulder bolt. The kit came with bolts, hopefully that'll remove that. So what we'll do is we'll just unplug this and leave that like that forever. And then we'll take this and rip that out because we won't need that anymore. Oh, the garbage piles just get beautiful. And then this is the kit it came with. It came with the block off for the exhaust, the block off for the side of the intake, which we'll do next, and then this block off right here, which should be this one right here. Get it out, get it in. Doot, doot. Oh, it's a balmy 31 degrees today. It's almost hot in Michigan. I mean, I might be able to feel my fingers today. Being a plumber, I'll tell you something about these O-rings. Every single one of these O-rings, dry, if you just try to shove it in there, chances are you're going to end up cracking or splitting it. Because what happens is, in this cold weather here in Michigan, it shrinks it down. Or sometimes it swells it out from it being warm in the packaging and then you putting it into the cold intake. So what you do is dab your finger with a little bit of good old spit shine on there. That'll lube it up so it goes in. You can also use plumber's grease, or some guys like to use silicone. Problem with using silicone is she's never coming back out. Not that you necessarily need to take it back out, but when you use silicone, it seals great for a while, and then 10-15 years later it starts to crack. Well, the good thing is it came with Allen bolts. So now I gotta go grab Allen wrenches. Look at that, right on the first try. Well, the good thing is it feels like it's cross-threading, so that's good. Yeah, you don't need threads in there anyways, right? All right. Jeez, oh Pete, it's getting a little tight, a little early. We still got a ways to go before it gets all the way down in there. All right, let's put it in this way. Give it the old. All right. Okay. Let's need our good old plumber socket set. Tighten it up. And you want to go until it snaps off inside there and you can't get it out. And then quarter turn past that. We gotta be getting there soon. There we go. All right, that's in. Let's work on the next one. So the next one's over here on the side. Move the camera. See if I can get you in here. The best part is when you drop your phone while you're trying to work. There we go. All right. So that one I'm thinking it's going to be a 10 mil. I was watching Roadkill the other day, and Freigerberger said, if you lose your 10 mil, you're working on the wrong vehicle. And you know what? I'm going to have to agree, because working on these new vehicles, man, it's just a pain. They change back and forth between metric and standard, and every bolt seems to be a different size. And they use weird off sizes like 11 millimeter and 9 millimeter. Look at that. Oh, that's clean. Look how clean that is. That's good for your motor to breathe. Bye-bye. Alright. Get out the new one. Once again, it uses an O-ring to seal. So you want to give it the old spit shine before you put it in. This is the block off plate. O-ring seal. Just want to push it all the way down on there before you put it in. Almost fits like it was made for it. Not bad, China, not bad. Alright, let's see how the hole lines up. Then we'll start our criticism. What do you think the chances are that it uses the same size Allen wrench? I'm gonna go with a guarantee. Look at that. I mean, this one's even threading in. Alright, then that one's done. As you can see, we got the new starter installed, got the wires hooked up, new bolts in it, everything looks good. If you don't have a constant just stack of miscellaneous batteries in your garage, I mean, what the fuck are you doing with your life?